All right, good evening, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart. Today is a market update for Wednesday, November 27th. And we'll shut that off for a moment. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow Industrials. We're up 0.22 today. So actually, I guess I didn't realize we have a couple of dojis again. So it's just like back here on the 18th and 19th. So that's rather interesting. It's going to be the one thing I'm looking at and I see here is that we've got if I'm counting wave 1 here, which really has 1, 2, 3, 4. These waves show up much stronger on hourly charts, 5. And then you've got a 2 pullback, and then you had a wave 1, and it was kind of on an hourly chart, it was more of a up, down, up, slightly down kind of correction. But this was definitely 1 in here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've had 5 little waves up here, so it's going to be interesting to see, do we push again like we've done in the past, or are we going to correct back down at least, maybe down to the 20-day moving average or so, if this is still wave 3. So if we've got 1, 2, 3, then that means we've got 4 and 5 yet to come. And then the other point I wanted to make real quick is that we're really in this 5th primary wave. Well, most of these primary waves, like this 3rd primary wave, are made up of 5 intermediate waves, okay? So when you go back and you look at this first primary wave, well, it had 5 primary or intermediate waves in it. So as I start to look at the fact that we're in a 5th primary move up, these waves here are minor waves. And we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. I mean, if this corrects all the way back down below the 50 and it starts breaking below, gets way down here. It's kind of like a lot of chart formations. I mean, you think you got a head and shoulders until it does something different. You think you have a symmetrical triangle until it tells you it's doing something different. And it's the same thing when we try to assess where we might be on a wave count. And I like the waves just because it kind of gives you a perspective, and you can't argue the fact that we've definitely got wavy motion and we're getting some waves. So let's take a look at the Dow Transports. Transports did not push up on this last little leg like the Dow Industrials have. On the S&P 500, we're still getting some divergence here on the S&P 500, and it continues to push up. And again, the fact that we are in this last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're ripe for a pullback, at least, to stay above this point, 1772. But that's what, 30 points below, 30 S&P points below where we're at right now. It could correct and still be in an upward, in sync with an upward motion. The Nasdaq. So we had the Nasdaq closing today. Now the interesting thing about the Nasdaq is we're starting to get a little bit of this, the divergence is going away here. I mean, the RSI here 67.2, RSI 67.77, slight, but you see the DI plus move to a new high. And the Nasdaq is closing over the 4,000 benchmark for the first time. And I know some people are making a lot of this, first time since, I guess they said September 2000. And it was interesting, the first time it went over 4,000 was December 1999, and boy, do I remember that month. That was an unbelievable month. And but it's been 13 years. So, I don't think to make anything of the fact that we're over 4,000 and that has some kind of significance for us, I really don't think that holds water. Okay, let's take a look at, let's take a look at the high-low. Where is that? Okay, high-low. All right, so we're still getting divergence on the high-low. Okay, we haven't broken this downward trend line. It is getting a little lengthy here. I haven't seen that kind of length in the previous divergences. And so I'm not sure what to make of that, except for the fact that we're not confirming the move to new highs. Now we want to look at the XLF real quick. Where is it? financials. Take a look at these three musketeers, I'm going to call these. Okay, we've seen how this keeps pushing out and is broken out of this consolidation. It was good, so the financials are in sync. That's a good sign. And we've got the home builders, and the home builders finally broke out today. Okay, so it broke out of this long symmetrical triangle, bunch of congestion, and it's made a move out of that. That is a good sign. Now, the one that's still kind of a holdback here is the semiconductors. I haven't talked about these lately, but they've been in congestion since the middle of October. So as the Dow has pushed higher, this has not. Would look like to see these get back in sync and push higher out of this congestion and consolidation going on in here also for the last month and a half. Okay. So that's semiconductors. Now what I want to take a look at is 4 solar stocks that were kind of moving today. Here's a stock I haven't looked at prior to today, Canadian Solar. And man, this thing has got some good volume to it, has really moved. So I'm going to start tracking this. I do think that it's put in 5 major waves up from last November. So, and the other thing is, you see this line I've got drawn here? There was some significant resistance here at this point. So the fact that it looks like 5 major waves may have completed here and that we're right at resistance is a sign that this, be on the lookout, because I think this could be rolling over. Now today they all bounced, they all sold off, and then they bounced. We'll have to see whether the bounce holds. Now this is kind of a reversal bar, and you'll see this on a couple others. If that reversal bar doesn't hold and they break the bottom, that's very negative. Okay. First Solar, I think I've talked about this before. I said I thought that there was 5 waves up. Thought that this was rolling over too. Won't spend a lot of time on that one. Solar City. Now here's another one that's interesting. Looks like we're working again. We're trying to do this 3rd intermediate wave up. Okay. And we've in 1 minor wave, 2 minor wave, 3rd minor wave. Now we're in the 4th, A, B, C of the 4th. When I did the math on this, the max on this type of a correction, you can go up to 165% of A. C can be 165% of A. And so here's the numbers on this. And it takes you down to 43.36. Well, we went below that. We went a whole point below that. So, but we're in the neighborhood. So the real question is, can we turn and go up from here? If we overlap 1, then we're not in bull mode anymore. Now I'm thinking we're doing some kind of funky correction thing that could, who knows what we're doing. We'll have to wait to see. So if we overlap the high here of 39.21, then all bets are off and we've got to reassess. SunPower, this I really thought was correcting down. Thought we were doing a similar type thing, ABC. We're up here getting resistance again, kind of like Canadian Solar. When you look at this point, there's back, oh gosh, it was back here 2009. There were 3 points, 3 consecutive pivot points right at this this number where we seem to have gotten resistance, right around 34. And so I think we're in corrective action here, A, B, C. The real question is this really a reversal bar today, or is this going to hold? I mean, it got down here. This point is like 27.72, I think is the number. I calculated it earlier today. And man, when it got down to 27.86, they just turned it around on a dime. So we'll have to see whether these reversal bars hold. If they do, it could be that the count's off and this thing's pushing higher. So we'll see. All right, that's about it for this evening. I will probably put out a little post tomorrow unless there's been some major activity on the Dow. And if I don't talk to everyone in the United States, have a great Thanksgiving, and everybody else around the world, we'll talk to you this weekend. And the market's open, I guess, Friday for half day. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.